Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. Welcome to another session of EN534 Environmental Law and Policy Development by Tufail Ali Zubedi. In today's class, we will discuss Pakistan's National Environmental Policy promulgated in 2005. So, without further delay, let's go through this. Before we go into the actual study of Pakistan Environmental Policy 2005, dear students, I'd like to ask you why, in your opinion, do you think that policies are important? Take a minute and think about it. Policies provide guidance, consistency in operation, accountability of one's thinking, efficiency in execution and implementation, and clarity on how an organization operates and achieves its objectives. Similarly, Pakistan's National Environmental Policy provides an overarching framework for addressing the environmental issues facing Pakistan. Viewers should be aware of Pakistan's environmental issues. At the time of drafting of this national environmental policy, particular emphasis was put on pollution of freshwater bodies and coastal waters, air pollution, lack of proper waste management, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, desertification, natural disasters, and climate change. The National Environmental Policy also gives direction for addressing the cross-sectoral issues as well as the underlying causes of environmental degradation and meeting international obligations. The National Environmental Policy, while recognizing the goals and objectives of the National Environmental Strategy, National Environmental Action Plan, and other existing documents of that time related to national policy, strategies, and action plan, it provides broad guidelines to the government, both provincial and federal, for addressing environmental concerns and ensuring effective management of their environmental resources. Policies can be developed in anticipation of need. For example, a harassment policy may be needed once an organization offers employment to female gender. A policy may be developed in response to a need. For example, a policy position on a government strategy may be developed in response to a consultation paper. Identify issue and who will take lead responsibility. Delegate responsibility to an individual working group, subcommittee, or staff member according to the expertise required. Ask your team to explore the issue. Questions one may ask are: do we have any legal responsibility in this area? Do we actually need to develop a policy? Is our understanding accurate and up to date? Have other organizations tackled the same issue? औरों ने भी ये काम किया है या बस? Are there existing templates or examples that we can use? Where do we go for guidance? Consult with appropriate stakeholders. Policies are most effective if the effectees are consulted and have the opportunity to consider and discuss the potential implication of the policy. Draft a policy. Ensure that the wordings and length and complexity of the policy are appropriate to those who will be expected to implement them. Finalize and approve the policy through a competent authority. Remember, the ultimate responsibility is of the top management or the management committee within the organization. Employees की authority या responsibility नहीं होती है. Consider whether supporting systems procedures are required. Consider if there is a need for training session, guidance counselors regarding how the policy will be implemented and by whom. Who will develop these and by what time it will be done. Implementation and communicating. How will the procedure be communicated and to whom? क्या bulletin boards लगाएंगे? क्या पॉलिसी के पैनाफ्लेक्स लगाकर पोस्ट कर देंगे? क्या हमारे पास कोई इंटरनल सिस्टम है, नोटिस बोर्ड पर लगा देंगे? या हमारी कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ज़्यादातर डेस्क वर्क है तो हम सबको एक मेमो भेज देंगे कि वो स्टार्ट होते ही कंप्यूटर वो सबको नज़र आ जाएगा? तो हाउ इट विल बी कम्युनिकेटेड एंड टू होम? क्या मुझ पर एप्लीकेबल भी है या ये सिर्फ मर्दों के लिए एप्लीकेबल है? Is training required to support the implementation among staff and volunteers? बहुत दफ़ा हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में चाय पीने वाला चौकीदार ये वो पॉलिसी से अफेक्ट ज़रूर हो रहे होते हैं, लेकिन हमें नहीं, लेकिन उन्हें पढ़ना लिखना नहीं आता, उन्हें ये एक्सेस नहीं होता नोटिस बोर्ड पे, तो उनको कैसे बताएंगे? कोई ट्रेनिंग सेशन करेंगे, कोई फोकस ग्रुप डिस्कशंस करेंगे, कोई आप उन्हें क्लासरूम सिस्टम में बताएंगे? Should the organization produce a press release for external policy positions? क्या हम बाहर के लोगों के लिए वो बताएंगे कि भाई अब हमारा नाम चेंज हो गया है, या हमारे कोई प्रेस रिलीज बताएंगे? ठीक है. Finally, monitor, review and revise. When the policy has been developed and implemented, and to check the effectiveness, हमें ये देखना होगा कि what monitoring and reporting systems are in place to ensure that the policy is implemented, and to assess its effectiveness, its usage, and the response from the policy. When the policy is reviewed, when will the policy be reviewed, and will it be revisited if necessary? तो तमाम चीज़ें जो है we need to consider as a part of the development of policy. The same has been done with the National Environmental Policy 2005, and next slides में we'll see how this has been implemented. This is where we start with the Pakistan's National Environmental Policy 2005. The goal of the policy was aims to protect, conserve, restore Pakistan's environment in order to improve the quality of life of the citizens through sustainable development. Again, we have the question of sustainable development. The objective of the policies are to conserve, restore, and efficiently management of environmental resources, integration of environmental considerations into policy making and planning processes, capacity building of government agencies and other stakeholders at all levels for better environmental management, meeting international obligations effectively in line of the national aspirations, creating of a demand for environment through mass awareness and community mobilization. Over the next few slides, we will see sectoral guidelines issued under the Pakistan Environmental Policy 2005. Sectoral guidelines relate to water supply and management, air quality and noise, waste management, forestry, biodiversity and protected area, climate change and ozone depletion, energy efficiency and renewables, agriculture and livestock, multilateral environmental agreements. So kindly go through these, read them, and when we come back, the groups that we made in our previous classes, we'll discuss each with everyone. So we'll start with group 1 with the first sectoral guidelines, water supply and management, and then the second one, air quality, will go with group 2, and so on and so forth. So kindly go through it, and we'll discuss it when we come back.